Welcome back. Recall the story we brought to you about the decomposing corpse of a 6-year-old boy who was left in an ambulance outside the morgue of the General Hospital in Suleja, Niger State. Well, we have been following on the matter, and Muktau Abubakar tells us that the father of the deceased, who dumped the body in the ambulance, is now in big trouble. He probably forgot that there are laws in the land. Muktau will tell us the latest.
The deceased boy's father, Suraju Ekini, who was initially the complainant, having alleged the mutilation of his son's remains kept in trust at the Suleja General Hospital, is now being charged for, among others, misleading the police, making the atmosphere noxious to health of the community and inciting disturbance. These charges were brought to him following police investigation as to why he will allow his son's remains decompose over allegations of mutilation.
And his intention is to use the police against that hospital. And when we decided that, no, we need to know what actually transpired, since we took the corpse away, only for you to bring the corpse back, and without even informing the hospital authorities, we dumped the corpse, which led to the composition. Something's quite wrong there.
The accused, Suraju Ekini, however, pleaded not guilty and declined commenting to Newsline.
Okay, don't worry, sir.
He was granted bail by the Magistrate Paul Adama of the Magistrate Court 5 Tunga Mina in the sum of 2 million naira and one shorty in like sum, who must be a state civil servant of not less than grade level 14.
Whether the corpse is still in the ambulance or not, I don't want to preempt what will happen, but let me just get to that level before I make comments.
The case has been adjourned to the 10th of January 2020 for further mention, while the accused remains at the Medium Security Correctional Center, Mina, pending the perfection of his bail conditions. Back in Suleja, the hospital management speaks on the condition of the boy's remains.
Dry stage, which is skeletonized. Most of the tissues, not the way the muscles, things are not there. It's only the skeleton you see, and that's the stage the corpse is now.
It is no exaggeration to say this deceased little boy deserved better, because as of today, his remains have spent 30 days in this ambulance. Religious leaders in the area, however, speak on the religious perspective of the situation, while some mothers expresses their feelings.
The man also should think of when the Bible talks about forgiveness. Yes, there are times people have offended you or wronged you. Like I watched last week during the news line. In fact, it was a concern. It generated a heavy talk in my family.
Yes, I collect the body of the child and bury it, because that is the will of God. That's how God wants it.
In that situation, I would like to maybe take my baby and go and bury her.
It's good for reporting, but as for me, I will bury my child.
The resultant effects of the actions or inactions of all concerned cannot readily be quantified, especially regarding public health and the dead's right to rest in peace. We will keep following this story as it unfolds.
Thank goodness the law has stepped in. That boy's corpse deserved better treatment. This next report will send shivers down your spine. It's about a family who had triplets. Ordinarily, this should be considered as multiple blessings, but Chinedu Okporo of Izi local government of Ebonyi State, for some strange reason, did not feel that way when he welcomed triplets into his home. Although individuals and Ebonyi State government showed him a great deal of hospitality, he had a sinister plan to murder the babies in a most gruesome manner. Uche Chukwu Chibueze Idam will tell us the story.
It all started when it was brought to the notice of NTA Abakaliki by a good Samaritan, Mr. Onyekachi Unebu, that a couple who already have 3 children gave birth to triplets in one of the health centers in the state and was unable to foot the medical bills.
The woman, when I saw her in the hospital, you understand, the mood there, the way things were going there was not good to me.
The
news caught the attention of the state government, who not only cleared the medical bills, but relocated the couple from this building where they lived before to a new rented apartment with other welfare packages. When we eventually visited the new apartment, the husband, Mr. Chinedu, was not there, while the wife was left alone to cater for the 3 babies. A pathetic situation that left me with no option than to start nursing one of them.
Lucky couple, you may say. Ordinarily, one expects the family to be a happy one with their new status, but that seems to be a tall order. The new status affected the behavioral pattern of the man, who went from drinking few bottles of alcohol to taking as much as his share of the monthly stipend given to them by government can buy, and when the money finishes, it is trouble for the family and the entire neighborhood.
The dude, like I say, he be a drunken master. So I don't know what will be the problem.
The height of it all is said to be one fateful afternoon when Mr. Chinedu could not access money from the wife for his drinking spree. He resorted to setting the triplets ablaze, though they were rescued due to the timely intervention of the neighbors. An allegation confirmed by the wife.
Even though he has been a thorn on our flesh, I didn't know he would have the mind to attempt setting the house and babies ablaze. And that's why I didn't suspect him when I saw him with a gallon until he poured the contents on the bed where I laid the children and set it on fire. I'm almost fed up with the marriage.
Moments later, Mr. Chinedu came in, staggering and making everyone uncomfortable with the stench of alcohol oozing out of his mouth. Trust me, I quickly handed his baby over to him and asked him what the anger behind his actions was. Of course, from what he said, only those who understand the language of alcohol can make sense out of it.
How can you burn my place? Of which I see me so. I don't beat the house. Even I go morning mass, I don't call father. We can feel pray for this house before I enter this house. You never tell me before I enter this house. If I sleep as you see me so. Before he build the house, not a person can feel take something. I know they sleep well.
Even though efforts made to reach the Commissioner for Women Affairs were not fruitful, government is said to have responded on getting the information that Mr. Chinedu attempted setting the children ablaze.
The burning you are saying, I don't really have the full details. I cannot say what happened there. I overheard it through phone. They called me that this happened, being that I'm a kind of mediator. So they alerted me, which I called SA to the Women Affairs and alerted her.
Meanwhile, neighbors are of the opinion that Mr. Chinedu will allow them and the family to have some peace if he is gainfully employed, since he is not insane.
Other aspects of Abuja, it's always that man is clearly unstable, and I hope the authorities will protect those children. Now, social media is where everything is posted without qualms, and whenever issues are brought to cyberspace, there is the possibility that there may be many sides to the story. In the course of the week, a story broke on social media platforms. Without people bothering to find out the facts, they condemned one side and defended the other. Who and what are we talking about? I will allow Ruth Ario Samuel present the details.
2 months, Queen's Lagos has been in the news for several reasons. This time around, it is a matter concerning a student, which unfortunately got out of hand.
Very well, snap back. I'm even videoing it. Okay, let me take her home. She said that she went to bed. Which one is this? I mean, Gogones, so you was in school, Nina. Oh, that's open, she was in school. Yes, that's her mother. That is the end. Don't come back to Queen's College, Joe. That's the end.
The student, whose name was not given, was claimed to have reported to school wearing artificial eyelashes and painted nails.
How can a student that is going to school fix eyelashes or makeup of any kind?
Let girls be girls, and let ladies be ladies, and let women be women. So a child wearing eyelashes to school is totally and morally wrong.
If you want to send her home, fine. We'll let her be decorum, so that people who intend to enroll their kids in that school know that, okay, this school has rules and regulations.
The reason for her action is yet to be ascertained.
Let's assume it was for a purpose, but for that lashes, you can remove. I don't know the type she fixed anyway.
At that point in stage, they are still under their parents, so they should still be under caution.
While some claim that her makeup was for the purpose of a drama class in the school, others say she sneaked out of school to attend a wedding. And if the soundbite from the video is anything to go by, she has ceased to be a student of the college. But the question here is, was the treatment meted out on the girl and her mother outside the school compound? And putting the video on the social media the best approach to effecting attitudinal change?
Whatever reason, she should have been allowed, to come rather than engaging in street fights, ridiculing the school, and also exposing the face of the girl.
What therefore becomes of her education?
She's been expelled. It is the best thing for her so that she can be composed.
I would totally disagree that that girl should be expelled. The girl should be given the time, she should be recalled, the mom too will be there, and the school authority will go through its process.
NTA News visited the school. Unfortunately, the crew was not given access, but the chief security officer said the principal was on official assignment to Abuja and no one else can answer questions on the matter.
Social media versions should be taken with a pinch of salt, and we promise to get the facts and bring to you in our subsequent edition. A 16-year-old girl is currently entangled in a drug-related crime in Kano. Although she claims to be innocent, the National Correctional Services handed the minor over to the Kano command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Fatima Sanusi Karaye will tell us the full story.
The incident happened at Kurumawa Correctional Center in Kano Metropolis when a 16-year-old student of senior secondary school resident of Otoro quarters attempted to smuggle Exol 5 concealed in a bowl of soup to her brother Yusuf, who has been serving jail time for the past 6 years. The 16-year-old Zainab, who claimed ignorance, said on the fateful day she was on her way to school to write her exams when one Abdullahi called her, and that was when her ordeal began. So I took it to my brother, not knowing what it was. Honestly, I didn't know it was an illicit drug. When the guard saw it, he asked me what it was. I didn't know what it was. I thought it is medicine. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know. The Kano State Command of the National Correctional Services said it is always on red alert to deal with such eventualities.
As she was approaching, they even studied her body demeanor, so they decided to search what she brought.
This is not the first time, this is not the second time. A woman brought packages of Indomie. Unknowingly to us, she opened the Indomies and put wraps of India hen.
The suspect has since been transferred to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kano Command, for further investigation.
Actually, she said that the person who supplied her with the drug that will be taken to her brother in the Correctional Services Center is not known to her. But he told her that he's a friend to her brother.
Zainab, who was just 10 years when her brother was jailed for buying stolen car, started visiting when she turned 14, after the death of their mother 2 years ago. For now, Zainab's life hangs in the balance as she walks back to her cell, confused and miserable, thinking, would she ever be able to continue her education? With her brother's friend, who allegedly put her in this situation, still at large, proving otherwise, may be a daunting task for her.
Some cases leave you speechless, don't they? Moving on, there is this profound saying by Lily Tomlin, which some of you are not familiar with, quote, tragedy plus time equals comedy, unquote. What this means is that with the passage of time, one can look back at certain difficult situations and laugh them off because they can now be solved without much ado. Our next report, which has to do with life and death, resonates with that saying. Claire Adilabu Abdurazak will tell us how in this next report.
It's a new day for healthcare in the country, and that's the reality that is creeping up on Nigerians. It's a realization that is hoisted on the people by dint of compelling circumstances.
Now, this is the second phase of a two-course medical procedure involving replacement of the hips and the spinal cord surgery, and it's been performed on one of Nigeria's national heroes and a very prominent sports coach, a football coach, that's Coach Kadri Ikana. And Dr. Christopher Otabo is a consultant orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah, for this particular one, he has had arthritis for many years, starting from when he was playing football. And so the hip joint arthritis is an advanced one with a lot of other advanced disease process. So this is not just a simple hip replacement. This is as complex as it can get anywhere in the world.
Primary hip replacement and spinal cord surgery are among the most successful procedures in medical history. Dr. Christopher Otabo admits that though some patients have been named across the country in the past, hips replacement and spinal cord surgery are done frequently now in centers across the country and with excellent results. This is Coach Kadri Ikana before the procedure. Because of the complexity of his age and safety concerns, Coach Ikana's medical procedure was staged. It would have cost him a whopping $150,000 to have the procedure done abroad, or a lifetime savings of 10 million naira in Nigerian hospital. But as it turned out, fate smiled on him.
I don't know how to express my feeling, especially when I read in social media that an hospital is ready to take on the responsibility of treating me. What I've been saying since then, I've been praying to Almighty God to pay him back the type of coin he's paying me with now.
Coach Ikana has been operated at Alliance Hospital at no cost to him. This second surgery took a longer time than anticipated and required a lot more experience and equipment. Kadri's spinal cord surgery will be done in not too long from now. When that is over, Coach Kadri Ikana will not only be back on his feet, but will also, in the words of Dr. Christopher Otabo, be able to run, jump, and continue his normal coaching routine 3 months post-surgery.
That was a great end, and those doctors deserve commendation. Moving on, some people who have been through a divorce will tell you that it's hard living life again without a partner. In that lonely state, many fall into depression, and if not properly managed, their mental abilities can be compromised, like the subject of our next report. After a bitter divorce, her brother put her in solitary confinement for 2 years because she could not get over the trauma. It happened in Kaduna State. Abdullahi Mohammed will furnish us with the details.
She barely speaks and seems to live in a world of her own. Hassan Saleh is a mother of 4, divorced and ended up in solitary confinement for 2 years in a place where she should have the right to all forms of human dignity. But that didn't happen. She was caged in a small room that can be described as a dungeon. She She eats, defecates in the same place without proper sanitation. Her crime was that she became depressed as a result of a divorce which she failed to put behind her. And her brother Lowell Saleh got tired of her attempts to run away from home, puts her under lock and key. For 2 years, she lost touch with reality until the day Rabi Salihu, the founder of a Kaduna-based non-governmental organization, came to her rescue.
She was defecating there, urinating, eating in the same place for almost 2 years. It was smelling, and it's not something that you can see because maggots were coming out there. And even through the window that she was being fetched, you will see cobwebs around the window, and the padlock has roasted. They don't have key to the padlock. So saying that they are bringing her out is just an understatement. She has not been brought out for the past, let's say, 2 years that we had. And the neighbors are aware of it, and almost all her relations have that knowledge.
After some pose for the cameras, Hassana was taken to the psychiatric hospital, courtesy of the Kaduna state government.
She's malnourished, so we believe that since the government has already taken over, it is our responsibility to take care of her until she is completely cured.
The suspect, Lowell Saleh, who kept this woman in solitary confinement, is already cooling off in the custody of police here at the Kaduna Police Command.
Well, I hope she gets better. We wish her all the best. Let's take a break now. Newsline will return shortly. Thanks for staying with us. Fidelity Bank PLC says it will continue to improve the living standards of its customers as long as they remain loyal to the bank. This was further demonstrated at one of its branches in Lagos, where some customers were made millionaires in the season 4 of the Get Alert in Millions promotion. Ruth Ario Samuel, who witnessed it, will tell us more.
He kept calling me, and I once said, okay, Oga, where are you calling? Where are you calling from? He said, he's calling from Fidelity Bank, Upper. So he said, can you come to the office between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. that same day? I didn't even know there was a promo going on. So until the day they invited me, they said I should come, and I won 2 million. I was so happy.
That is one out of many testimonies that have been told of Fidelity Bank's magnanimity. For 13 years, the bank has been turning the fortunes of its customers around and growing many businesses to enviable heights through its numerous products and services. The Get Alert in Millions promo, which started 4 years ago, is one of such platforms by Fidelity Bank to put smiles on the faces of its customers. Time and time again, the bank has proven this. Already, 31 customers have been rewarded for their loyalty. In order to reach out to more people with this good news, the bank officials took the campaign to its Ogba branch, where prizes were presented. 2 people won ₦1 million each, while others received consolation prizes of a television set and refrigerator.
Fidelity Bank is talk and do. When they talk, they do it.
I'm a trader. I buy and sell. And with this, I will improve my business. More grace to their able. So God is going to, make them to go higher and higher. The sky is their limit.
For the management of the bank, customer satisfaction and growth remain key objectives.
Unbroken promise of having people rewarding them for serving with us. Because each time they build, they are serving with us. There's something for them.
It is part of incentives to them, and also reach out to those in the neighborhood and tell them that it pays to save with Fidelity.
If you haven't already opened your account, you can do so digitally. One, using our USSD *770#. Another way is through our ATM.
Fidelity Bank says more prizes are yet to be won.
We've given out 15 million. At least we still have 105 million to be given out.
Congrats to the new millionaires. It was a moment of excitement for Glo customers from the northwest zone of the country when the company gave them the opportunity to win prizes in its ongoing Recharge and Win Big promo. Ramatu Abdullahi reports that after charging their lines with just 200 naira, more than 130 Glo customers benefited from the promo that took place at Kanti Quarry Market in Kano.
The Globacom company recently stormed the heart of Kano, Kantinkwari, the West Africa's largest textile market, to hold its official prize presentation event of the ongoing My Own Done Better Recharge and Win Big with 200 Naira promo. About 130 customers from the Northwest Zone who participated and won the end of the year promo were rewarded with life-enhancing prizes such as tricycles, popularly called keke, industrial sewing machines, grinding mills, and generators.
I get generator from Glo, so I thank Glo very well.
I just got a call from customer care service that I want a grinding machine that I should go and report to the Glo office, and that's just it.
New winners also emerged in live raffle draw show with celebrities such as Saeed Mohammed, popularly called Funky Malam, Kennywood actress Fatiwa Shah, and a host of others adding color to the event.
We are looking forward to actually making our customers, as Glo customers, happier and keep glowing throughout the year.
The Nigeria's leading telecommunications company, Globacom, took the initiative further to reach out to its winners in the remote areas of the state. Umulkayu Badamasi, a lucky winner of Glo Tricycle, could not hide her joy when Globacom delivered the tricycle to her residence in Fage community in Kano. The district head of Fage, Alhaji Tijani Enwawu, in company of Glo ambassador Sani Danja and other Glo officials, presented the keys to her.
I couldn't believe it when Glo called me that I have won tricycle until they brought the gift to my doorstep and keys handed to me. I thank Glo.
You just recharge 200 naira. Once you recharge 200 naira, use it.
I urge members of this community to subscribe to Glo Network.
It's a big prize that can bring more wealth to her. We are great. Giving the breakdown of prizes so far won, head of sale Globacom Northwest said among the 130 beneficiaries, 6 people went home with tricycles, 30 others went home with 1 generator each. Another set of people also got 30 grinding mills and 20 sewing machines per head.
It shows that we have much interest of our subscribers at heart, and that is the reason why we're giving out all these items to them. And the fund will still continue. We are doing the one of Kano today. Next one will move to another location.
He said the promo is ongoing, urging people to patronize the Glo Telecom line.
Congratulations to those Glo subscribers. Next up, there are strong indications that Osun State, known as the State of the Living, will become an industrial hub in the next 2 years if the outcome of the just concluded Economic and Investment Summit is applied. Femi Afariogun, who covered the 3-day summit for Newsline, reports that at least 40 investors are set to break grounds.
Despite being known as one of the states of the Federation with a large mineral deposit in Nigeria, Osun State still rely majorly on federal allocation to survive. Transforming the state from that of civil service to an economically viable one and the commercial hub in Southwest necessitated a 3-day economic and investment summit where more than 2,000 local and foreign investors, economic experts converged on Osogbo to create a pathway for economic growth and prosperity of Osun. The focus was on key potential sectors such as mining, agriculture, ICT and innovation, tourism, light manufacturing, infrastructural development, among others.
In one location, about 1,500,000 ounces of gold. In simple currency terms, that's over $2 billion worth of assets.
Also in the agriculture, we'll be able to produce beyond what we need and be able to earn, better income that will improve the life of our people.
At the end of the summit, 45 investors showed interest in various sectors as a Canadian company intends to invest $118 million in gold mining in Osun.
In terms of getting our goods out of Osun State has really become easier because the road network, especially to the major cities, have significantly improved.
And I'm very glad that the state of Osun has also taken a lot of measures to match the economic growth with social development.
We are going to honor all our agreements, so we'll do our part.
The governor, Bohiga Oyetola, is set to walk the talk.
I'm issuing an executive order for the establishment of Osun Investment Promotion Agency. We will require for the purpose of initiating, promoting, facilitating, coordinating, and creating a conducive environment for investment.
For the state, work begins as it intends to create more conducive environment for investors.
We saw the talk shop as we promised, and then indeed you saw there were no paper presentations. It was all about what do you think then can happen. I'm confident that Osun State is going to take the first step.
People must know that we are in a hurry to develop our future.
The summit has rekindled the hope of all that Osun State in years to come will be financially independent.
Osun State has set the pace, and of course others will follow. Moving on, the use of theatrical performances in telling Nigerian story is important, as it not only entertains, it serves as a platform for correcting societal ills and drawing the needed attention to issues of concern. This was reiterated by the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, at the premiere of a stage drama titled Man Enough, produced by Bolanle Austin Peters in Lagos.
You are not man enough.
Man Enough is a drama that depicts the different travails and challenges men face in fending for their families and making ends meet.
We have so many bills to pay. Plumber bills, light bills, you're not paying your daughter's school fees.
The 9-man cast play is a mix of monologue and music. It shows the monopoly enjoyed by the high and mighty in society, as well as the plight of those down the ladder.
I don't like competition, and if I see competition, I squash it, I destroy it, I scatter it until I'm the only one left on top of the ladder.
The play showcases an array of emotions from tears, struggles, pains, and hardships to show of power, lust, intimidation, and oppression.
You can see that being man enough means different things to different people. Quite striking is the talents of these actors and actresses. These are actors and actresses that can, compete with any in the world.
Others attest to withholding of suspense.
A play cannot be much better than what we saw. Fantastic actors, fantastic use of stage, and funny. It's funny but real.
No matter the sphere of life you're in, you see yourself in bits and pieces of the characters.
Let's meet those behind the drama.
It's quite expository, so people get to see and understand the pressures men pass through.
Nigerian stories need to be told and told properly, and increasingly we're realizing that there's been sort of like a starvation of that on stage in particular, so our focus is to keep bringing those stories to the fore, creating entertainment and creating jobs at the same time.
Stakeholders say more could be achieved through the use of drama for national development.
Still on beyond the arts, cultural integration is one tool that binds diverse ethnic groups. The 12th International Arts and Crafts Expo, held in Abuja, was a great opportunity for nations to express their different cultures. Ruth Aguele brings us sights and sounds of the expo.
It's not every day one is crowned king in another man's land, so you can imagine the joy he feels at that moment. This symbolic show of royalty is to welcome delegates from across the world who have converged on Abuja to participate at the International Arts and Craft Expo. An evening to dine and wine, build strong networks beyond the expo, also offered a platform to showcase different arts and crafts from around the world.
She is actually depicting some natural scenarios of Bangladesh through her work. She is meeting there, and she is presenting the rural areas, the rural activities of our people.
Some countries use the opportunity to express the beauty of their rich cultural heritage.
Musical, cultural sector, and we are looking the mechanisms to have a direct connection, direct agreement to bilateral cooperation between Nigeria and Venezuela in this area.
So we should collaborate with one another, because most of the things we are doing in Nigeria, they are doing it in Venezuela, they are doing it in Jamaica. What we call mai here in Nigeria, they call it moi.
Nigeria's beauty in her diversity was also on display.
Lose contact with our culture. Our culture is very rich.
We have incredible cuisine, we have dance, we even have poetry.
The Chamba people, we have them predominantly in Taraba State, and this is their costume. I was also surprised to see the Cameroonians coming with the same costume.
Interesting blend of cultures there. I hope you enjoyed watching. Nasarawa community in Kano State recently played host to eminent personalities when the Jigawa State Governor, Badagry Abubakar, gave out his daughter in marriage. Lawal Saliu reports that the Senate President, Ahmed Lawal, some state governors, as well as the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, were among dignitaries that graced the wedding fatia held at the Al-Furqan Jumat Mosque.
Joy for the families of the bride Badagry Abubakar and that of the groom Abdullahi Dantunkro as they host friends and well wishers at the wedding fatia of their children. The wedding fatia was solemnized by Chief Imam of the Al-Furqan Jumat Mosque, Dr. Bashir Aliyu, after the representative of the groom Dahir Barrow paid 100,000 naira as story to the family of the bride. Apart from the federal government delegation led by Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, traditional tattoo holders from Kano and Jigawa states, as well as business communities, were among distinguished personalities that add glamour to the occasion. The parents of the newlywed advised them to build their home on the teachings of glorious Quran and Hadith.
Marriage is about tolerance and is about accepting the partner's deficiency and living with it.
May Allah bless the marriage and they should live in peace with one another and build their home according to the teaching of Holy Quran and Hadith.
I thank everyone who make our wedding a success, and I pray Almighty Allah to reward them abundantly.
At a lavish reception held in honor of the guests at the Kano State Government House, Eminent personalities also told the couple to lend the wisdom of compromise to make their marriage stand test of time.
Marriage is an institution, and the secret of every successful household is patience.
My advice to young people is you look at your father, you see what he has accomplished through hard work. He's your best role model.
You take a look at, the crowd that covered this wedding ceremony. We don't have anything to do but just to say we thank Almighty Allah.
For them to be patient and also to be tolerant. The relationship they had before now is different than what they had before.
We wish that they have a happy family. We wish that they enjoy the union that has been, put together today.
NTA Director General was represented by Director Marketing Umar Abubakar Dembo.
And congratulations to the couple. We're glad to know that you're still there. We'll take another break. Please stay with Newsline. Culture is the strongest link that binds Africans in the diaspora with those on the continent, and Nigeria has continued to showcase its rich cultural heritage with pride, just like it did at the 3rd Diaspora Festival in Badagry recently. Dr. Ogunyemi was there.
The historical journey to the point of no return began on the waterways for these diasporians who answered the call to come and experience a bit of their motherland. From Lagos, we arrived Topo in about an hour from where the celebrations kicked off. On the itinerary on the first day for the visitors were visits to the Badagry Heritage Museum, Mobe Family Relics Museum, Seriki Abbas Brazilian Barracoon, cannon guns for slave raiding at Wawu Palace, and the ancient slave market, as well as the tomb of the first slave merchant.
The slave traders prefer their slaves to die rather than escape. Any slave that escapes is a threat to them.
Dressing up the next day needed some helping out, as the visitors adorned traditional attires, which was quite amusing. Dressed as royalties, they were reborn with new names at the palace of the Akron of Badagry. The team then proceeded to the Badagry Marina, from where they embarked on yet another boat ride. Walking on the original slave routes was quite emotional for all.
Now we open the door of return, and it's a symbolic door, a door to prosperity, a door to freedom, a door to joy.
At the end of the road, where our forefathers embarked on a journey to an unknown destination, the diaspora members committed to building a monumental palace to serve as a place of joy and unity.
And when people come from all of the diaspora, we're going to have them walk through a symbolic door of return when they register, before they come right into the resort.
This walk through the door of return was very significant, leaving an indelible mark in the minds of the diasporians.
To connect back with the wonderful people here in Badagry, in Nigeria, has been an unbelievable experience.
I never thought I was losing something until I came here and found a little piece of me.
The festival, according to the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, will continue to foster better collaboration between Nigeria and its diaspora for economic development.
That was an unforgettable visit. Next up, a new label for Hero, the premium brand from the stables of international breweries, has been unveiled at the 5th edition of the Hero Music Fiesta at Choba Ikpeazu Stadium, Onitsha. Ikene Undulue reports that the event paraded an array of top-notch Nigerian music artists.
The mood was electrifying as the crowd that turned up for the event was driven to a frenzy with different musical performances. Artists like Timaya, Rude Boy, Patoranking, and Tekno performed their popular songs as they connected the hero brand with its teeming consumers.
Everybody put your hands up and sign me them say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Then came the big moment of the night, the unveiling of the new hero can.
That is a brand new hero.
The new can is the high point of the recent campaign by the hero brand tagged Echefuna, which means never forget your identity. It is a celebration of the identity of the people of the Southeast. Special features of the new can include inscriptions of special Igbo names.
We have different types of cans. We have Odogu, we have Dike, we have Uwane, we have Ada, we have Igwe, and each can tells a special story about these appellations. And we know that our consumers are going to go out there and pick a can that resonates the most with them.
Indeed, the Echefuna edition of the Hero Fiesta is one that will stick to the memories of all consumers of Hero Lager beer, as it reminds them to be proud of their heritage, identity, and to celebrate their culture and embrace their tradition.
That looked like fun. It's time for our last break. Stay with us. What next? And return to our Maker, we are remembered by the legacies we leave behind. For late Pastor Cyril Udo Uguke, father-in-law to the former Senate Committee Chairman on Information, Senator Ayogu Eze, he will be remembered not only as a renowned tailor, but a man of integrity. Family and well-wishers recounted his good deeds when his remains were laid to rest in his hometown, Ogurute, Enugu, Ezike in Igboeze North Local Government Area of Enugu State. Susan Eze reports.
We love what we do.
Community Primary School 1, Ogurute, was filled to capacity with friends and associates of the Ugweke family and their in-law, former Senate Committee Chairman on Information, Senator Ayogweze, husband to the first daughter of the family, Dr. Mrs. Nkechi Ayogweze. They came from far and near to commiserate with them on the death of their father and father-in-law, late Pastor Cyril Uwoke, District Superintendent, Assemblies of God Church. Reverend Livinus Agaba reminded all that death is inevitable for all mortals. He said the end is justified by how well and not how long one lived on earth. Prayers were said for the family he left behind, while the remains of Pastor Cyril Uwoke journeyed to his final resting place in his compound. To his family and those who knew Pastor Cyril, he was a family man who spent the greater part of his life doing what he loved most, making clothes. He founded the then popular Cinco Tailors in the university town of Nsukka.
I will remember him for his courage, for his steadfastness, for his industry.
My father was a brave man. He was very strong.
He was very hardworking.
The Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, was among the dignitaries that attended the funeral. The Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Ibn Mohammed, represented by the Zonal Director, NTA Enugu Network Center, Benny Modi, and other distinguished guests condoled the bereaved.
Death is inevitable. So when it comes, you take it as it comes, believing that the good Lord who brought him or her says it's time to go.
It's God's decision, nobody can question it. Yet to say sorry.
The most important thing is for them to ensure that the legacies and the ideals of their father, that they are not allowed to die.
Survived by wife, children, and other relatives, Pastor Cyril Odo Uwoke was aged 81.
So rest in perfect peace. Amen. And that's Newsline this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week, God's willing. Up next is Alibaba Seriously. Be sure to watch the show. Good night and God bless Nigeria.